Things here at Bobcat Gymnasium, taking on the Skyview Bobcats. And the game of the week on Channel 12 KBLY is being brought to you by the USU Community Credit Union, Cache Valley's Financial Center.
Lynn's Audio and Video, the Cache Valley Audio and Video Specialist.
Watkins Printing, when your printing really matters.
Carousel Carpets, great selection and price at 10th North and Main.
And Bruce Alsop Insulation, it fills in where the pink stuff just won't go. And Mike, I'm sure that we're going to see a standing room only crowd tonight. Both of these teams, Mountain Crest and Skyview, 4-1 in Region 5. Actually a three-way tie when you throw in Box Elder. Mountain Crest coming off a Big Bear River wins. Skyview coming off a little bit of a hiccup in their otherwise flawless performance with a loss to Ben Lomond. And that means this is a big game.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. And you're going to see two of the best big men in the state in 4A tonight. In Vance Roberts and Brett Tarbett. Brett Tarbett is leading the state in scoring at 22 points a game. Vance Roberts is leading the state in scoring at 22 points a game. And Brett Tarbett is shooting about 63% from the floor. So you're going to see a very good inside game tonight from both teams.
Well, in fact, we had a chance to speak with both coaches before the game this evening. Let's take a look at what Coach John Nielsen had to say about tonight's matchup.
You've been there, done that.
Okay. Are we ready? Coach John Nielsen of the Mountain Crest Mustangs joining us during our pregame. And, Coach, we appreciate you taking time out. You come in off the big win over Bear River, 77-65. You're 4-1 in the region, tied with Skyview. What are the things that need to go right for Mountain Crest this evening?
Well, we have to continue what we have been doing. I think we have a good inside-outside attack offensively. Our defense is starting to play better, and we just have to continue that. I don't think we have to change anything. We have to defend well enough where our offense can score enough points to win.
Coach, this has been touted in the regional media as far as Salt Lake as being a game that's determining championships already, and we're right at the midpoint of the season. You reverse schedules after this game. Skyview will play you again at Mountain Crest, I believe, the last game of the regular season. Right. Does that put any pressure on you as a coach or on the players where this game has so much attached to it?
I don't think it has any more attachment than any other game. Obviously, we want to win the game. It's the end of the first round. A loss is not going to take anybody out of a chance of the league championship, but obviously it's going to hurt the run. It's a big game, but it's just a game.
What do you look for from the Bobcats tonight?
I don't know. It'll be really interesting. I know Coach Dustin has really touted his defense, and they play a lot of man. I know last year, though, they came in, and the last league game we handled them pretty easily, and they played man against us. And then the first game down the state tournament, they went straight zone. So they may go zone a little more than they have in the past. I don't know.
Well, we're looking forward to a great game. I think it's going to be standing room only tonight. This is a game that's got a lot of attention, not just because it's a great intra-valley rivalry, but just all throughout Region 5.
Oh, I think it's going to be a great game.
Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks,
and thank you for taking time out to join us before the game. Coach John Nielsen of the Mountain Crest Mustangs in his pregame comments. Stay tuned for more of the Game of the Week on Channel 12 KBLY.
Cut your utility bill in half. Reduce costly heating and cooling bills with revolutionary Mountain Fiber Supertherm insulation from Bruce Alsop Insulation. Mountain Fiber Supertherm is more earth-friendly, fire retardant, and fills in all of the cracks where the pink stuff just won't go. Your family will enjoy the comfort of a home that keeps them warmer during the winter and cooler during the summer. Insulation that pays for itself. A better idea from Bruce Alsop Insulation. Call today for a free estimate.
They showed up one afternoon trying to stare us down on prices. Didn't seem to bother my father, though. He gave them a fair deal. Then he did something I never would have done. He had me load another bushel of apples in their trunk. I learned later on that this family was in need.
Who you become depends on what you do for others along the way. A message from the Credit Union Foundation and your hometown credit union.
Hi, I'm Dave Bennett, along with Mike Plowman. We welcome you back to our pregame coverage of what is bound to be quite possibly, Mike, perhaps one of those games that's referred to for years and years and years in the annals of the school history. You've looked at some of the stats concerning this game, and what can you highlight for us?
Well, we talked earlier before Coach Nielsen's interview about the two of the best big men in the state, in Vance Roberts and in Brett Tarbett. You have two of the best three-point shooters in the state as well. In the leading three-point shooter and the fourth leading scorer in the state, Tony Brown for Mountain Crest, and also a 40% three-point shooter in Shane Larson for Skyview. So you're going to see a very, very good inside-outside game tonight from both teams.
Well, I think it's going to be a very, very exciting game, and it's one that has a lot of things on the line with it, but it should be, even if you put all of the stuff about Region 5 championship aside, if you put all the state rankings aside, and you look just at Skyview and Mountain Crest, that great north-south rivalry in the valley, and when both of them have such fine basketball teams.
Yeah, and they both have very good coaches, and they're very well coached, very disciplined, and very good athletes and good students on their teams. So we're going to see a very good basketball game tonight, and this is a game that has not alone been talked about in Region 5, but in the state as well.
That's true. Now, what let's do is we had a chance to talk with Coach Kevin Dustin of the Skyview Bobcats before the game, and let's see what he had to say. Here in the pregame of the game of the week, a big matchup between Mountain Crest and Skyview. We've had an opportunity to check in with Coach John Nielsen of the Mountain Crest Mustangs. Now, Coach Kevin Dustin of the Skyview Bobcats. And, Coach, we appreciate you taking time out.
No problem.
Coming into the game, we're in a three-way foot race for first place in Region 5. Box Elder, Mountain Crest, your opponent tonight, and Skyview, all at 4-1. Does that add any pressure to you as a coach or to the players?
No, I don't necessarily believe a lot in pressure. I believe a lot in opportunities, and it does give us an opportunity to put some distance between us and the other two teams. But I think that whatever distance it will be tonight, regardless of whether we win the game or lose the game, is going to be short-lived because we will have a lot of basketball to play.
Region 5, a very competitive region. In fact, many people are beginning to believe that the state champion, in one way or another, is going to come out of Region 5, or at least a finalist for the state championship. Skyview so far has had a very good season. You had a little bit of a burp against Ben Lomond, however.
Yeah, we stubbed our toe there. But, it is a competitive region. I think it does help us come state tournament time that we've played good teams all along, and that includes our preseason. But, there's really good teams in the state. I'm thinking of Murray, East, and Provo, who I think are good enough to be there. So I think that we are as good as anybody, but we still have a lot yet to prove.
Big game tonight. What do you look for from Mountain Crest, and what should we look for from Skyview?
Well, I think Mountain Crest is playing as well as anybody in the region right now. I really do. I think that they're really on all cylinders, and John does a terrific job. I mean, his kids are always well prepared, and they always play hard, and they always play extremely smart. And we've got to match their intelligence, and we have to match their intensity. And because I'm not sure athletically we're as good as shooters as they are, and I know we're not as strong as Roberts inside. So we just have to do other little things to try to make up for that, and then just hope that it comes down to a game at the end where we have a chance to win it and maybe do something from there.
All right. Well, I think however it goes tonight, that we're going to have a heck of a ball.
We'll have fun. That's what it's all about.
Coach, best of luck to you. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Coach Kevin Dustin with the Skyview Bobcats and his pregame comments. We'll be back with more of the Game of the Week on Channel 12 KBL1.
Great advice, great screen prints, great basin graphics.
Welcome back to the Game of the Week on Channel 12 KBLY, Cache Valley's very own television station. I'm Dave Bennett along with Mike Plowman. And Mike, we've got some very talented starting lineups on both of these teams tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Dave. And starting for the visiting Mountain Crest Mustangs, you have a 6'1" senior guard, number 25, Russ Guyman, as well as a 6'2" sophomore guard, the leading three-point shooter in the state, number 31, Tony Brown, a 6'4" senior forward, number 43, TJ Hart, who is also a great outside player, 6'7" senior center, number 51, Brandon Knudsen, and as well as another 6'7" senior forward center, number 55, Vance Roberts, one of the best inside players in the state in 4A. For the home Skyview Bobcats, at guard, number 12, a 5'11", 150-pound senior guard, Chad Knight. At number 21, a 6'3", 185-pound senior guard, Brady Nyman. Number 23, a 6'1", 175-pound senior guard, also a 40% three-point shooter, Shane Larson. And then a 6'5", 190-pound senior forward, number 33, Brett Tarbett. And getting the nod tonight in the middle for the Bobcats will be number 50, a 6'3", 180-pound senior center, Jason Wilcock.
And that's a first that we've seen so far this year for Skyview, as them starting Wilcock. He is usually the sixth man on the bench. Very talented player, but this is, I believe, his first game as a starter. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe it is. And I think Coach Dustin likes to start all of these seniors at least one game as a starter, and he's done pretty well to do that, and he's got enough talent on that team and very good basketball players that he's got a lot of people he can go to.
Here you see the starting lineup introductions for Mountain Crest. That's 43, TJ Hart. Number 25 would be Guyman. Number 51 on the floor, that is Brandon Knudsen. And then, of course, there's the powerhouse and the workhorse for the Mountain Crest Mustangs, and that's Vance Roberts, number 55. And number 31, Tony Brown, very talented three-point shooter, Mike, as you pointed out, leading the state in three-pointers.
As well as fourth in the state in scoring, behind the number one leading scorer in the state at 22 points a game, Vance Roberts. So Mountain Crest has two of the top 5 leading scorers in the state.
Many people have commented on how talented the Mountain Crest team is this year, and a lot of people point to Skyview as having perhaps not as much individual talent, but perhaps the ability to work more cohesively as a unit.
Well, and I'll tell you one thing, David, in the 3 games we've done for Skyview this year, I've been very, very impressed with their discipline and their coachability. You know, they're willing to do whatever the coaches want them to do to win a basketball game, and they're very disciplined. They don't throw the ball away very often, and they run a very good offense, and it's going to be tough to beat a team that's that disciplined.
It's very, very true. Your starters for the Skyview Bobcats, Jason Wilcock, Brett Tarbett, Shane Larson, Brady Nyman, and Chad Knight. And we're ready for the tip-off here for the game of the week, Channel 12 KBLY, as it is Skyview and Mountain Crest here in the Bobcat Gymnasium. It's interesting to point out, Mike, the final of the JV game as Skyview won handily, 86-57 over Mountain Crest. I doubt very much that we'll see a similar type thing here on the varsity level.
No, I think you're going to see a 6 to a 10 point a game one way or the other tonight. One of these teams is going to win probably in a single digit differential, and both of these teams are very good. And like you said, 2 of the top teams in Region 5 and maybe 2 of the top teams in the state in 4A.
If it comes down to free throw shooting, you would have to give the edge to Skyview, with Chad Knight being the Iceman from the free throw line, a perfect 7 for 7 during the game against Logan. Opening tip-off controlled by Skyview, but they'll re-jump it as both of the centers miss the ball.
And Skyview's got a lot of very good free throw shooters. Most of their starters are right around the 80% mark.
Shane Larson comes up with the ball, and it will be a turnover right away, as he will travel and or slide out of bounds. Either way, lost his footing on that bottom corner of the court. So Mountain Crest with the first opportunity. Guyman working against Chad Knight.
You're going to see early here, Mountain Crest is going to run a great motion offense that can get inside to Roberts.
That's exactly where they go. He was double teamed underneath. Knudsen with the rebound. It won't fall after 2 opportunities. Skyview with the defensive rebound. They did go underneath to Roberts right away. Wilcock had done a good job on him and had some help from Tarbett. The ball knocked out of bounds. Brady Nyman will inbounds the ball.
And watch for Skyview on this possession here. They're going to go back into that disciplined offense that they run, and you know, one thing that's really impressed me all year for the Bobcats is that they and Coach Comandina pointed it out before the Logan game, they pass the ball 6 or 7 times before they take a shot most of the time, and that's a very disciplined.
Pointed to as the reason why they lost that game, is they were taking a lot of three-pointers instead of traditionally doing their high-low game that they're so well known for. What you're seeing there is an official timeout, obviously with the wintry conditions in Cache Valley as folks funneled into the game. Got a little moisture on the floor. I think that's probably what happened to Larson down here underneath. And we expected a packed gymnasium, and we have not been disappointed.
And I think, you know, Dave, the two things that stand out to me over the weekend were Logan loses to Ogden. That's Ogden's first win in the region this year. And Skyview loses to Ben Lomond. That's their first win in the region this year. And Logan's a very talented team. They've stumbled a lot. They're inconsistent, but it's a game they expected to win, and they had a lead and lost. And I think that just shows how tough and how much parity there is in this region as it was in football.
Well, as Coach Dustin pointed out in his pregame comments, he actually feels playing in Region 5 is an advantage for that very competitiveness.
Yeah, and it gives you that competitive edge. And going into the state games, you know, you've played in one of the most competitive regions in the state.
During our halftime, the cheerleaders here at Skyview are going to be throwing out 5-a-day balls. Now that has, those balls have the 5-a-day sticker on them. The ball toss is sponsored by the Cache Valley 5-a-day Association and the Bear River Health Department, who would like you to snack your way to 5-a-day every day. If you eat 5 or more servings of fruits and vegetables every day, you'll be healthier. Take the 5-a-day challenge brought to you by Channel 12 and Bear River Health Department. Skyview inbounds the ball and again starts working that perimeter. Moving the ball, they'll flex the wings. That's where they'll penetrate, is on the wings more than in the middle. Underneath to Tarbett, turnaround jumper is good as he gets the roll. The first points of the ball game with 7 minutes to play in the first period, and Skyview has a 2-0 lead. And we're seeing the great defense also that we expected on both ends of the court tonight, Mike.
Yeah, and Mountain Crest plays a very tenacious defense, but Mountain Crest is a team that, you know, they can go inside easily to Vance Roberts, and it looks to me like Skyview may try and go inside a lot to Tarbett early here and try and get Vance Roberts in foul trouble.
The three-pointer was by Guyman, not their traditional three-point shooter. That's usually TJ or Tony. Guyman makes it 3-2, favor of Mountain Crest. And they are looking for Tarbett underneath. Nice backdoor pass by Nyman. There'll be a foul called on the play going against Russ Guyman. Number 25 picks up his very first foul of the ball game. In fact, the first foul of the ball game. Tenacious defense, one of the hallmarks of both of these teams. And Skyview picks up the loose ball scramble, and they call the charge against Larson, number 23, as he pushed off against Tony Brown in recovering the ball.
And uncharacteristically, Skyview is a little bit coming out of the gates here, a little bit slow coming out of the gates. Their offense isn't being run as precise as they'd like it to, but you got to credit Mountain Crest defense for that.
Now you're seeing the same thing on this end of the court. Work the perimeter, flex the wings in that low post position. They've got Roberts double teamed and another three-pointer. That one by TJ Hart. Now 6-2 with a 4-point lead with 5:50 to play in the first period.
You know, that's down here on this other end of the floor is one thing Skyview's going to find very quickly in this ball game like Logan did. You don't get a hand in the face of these shooters from Mountain Crest, it's going to be a very long night.
Foul on the court was on number 50, Jason Wilcock. He'll take a bit of a breather, and they bring in number 44. That's Elliot Billings. He's their 6'4" senior. Neither one of these teams afraid to press, afraid to be aggressive, and they both play physical ball. Roberts eyes the three-pointer. Knutson loses the ball in traffic. Roberts comes up with it. They had him on the arm. The referee doesn't see it and calls the jump ball. Alternate possession will keep the ball in Mountain Crest favor.
I think what you're seeing here, Dave, for the Bobcats is I think they've got a box and one on Tony Brown. They've got Shane Larson on him man-to-man, and Tony's going to have a hard time getting any shots off against Shane Larson.
Well, Shane comes up with the steal right there. We've got a 1-on-2 fast break. Larson tries to force it, and they do call the foul. It might have been more of a travel before the foul, but we don't get paid to make those kind of decisions.
Shane Larson is a very quick guard, and he's trying to get down floor and stumble a little. Little first quarter jitters here for both teams, and
well, Larson might have been better served to kind of slow that one down. He was double teamed, and he was going a little too fast to maintain his balance. Skyview misses a bit of an opportunity, and a turnover on the inbounds pass gets it back to Mountain Crest. Ben Blau, number 33, into the ball game for the Mustangs. He's a senior, 6'2" guard. They launch a three, in and out. Tarbert comes up with his first rebound of the game. Chad Knight well covered by Russ Guyman. Aaron Benson, number 10, in the game now for the Bobcats. He's the 6'2" senior. Launch a three-pointer from Nyman, and it's good. And we're now 5-6 as we have gone a minute and a half without a score. 6-5 our score. Mountain Crest a 1-point lead with 4:30 to play in the first period.
That's a great credit to both of these teams defensively. They're doing a great job.
Roberts double team. They're going to call Billings for the foul. Should have been a charge.
That's one of those NBA moves where you lean into the man and you try and get the contact, then throw the ball up, and the officials called it that way.
Elliot Billings picks up his first foul of the ball game. Third team foul for the Bobcats. Roberts is at the line shooting 2. Mountain Crest with a 1-point lead. It was a nice move by Roberts inside, but it probably was a charge.
It looked to me like he leaned into him a little bit and probably should have been called for the charge, but the official saw it the other way, and Roberts is getting the 2 free throws.
Well, regardless of what you think of the call, Roberts is taking full advantage of it as he sinks both free throws to make it 8-5. Low-scoring ball game. Credit that to patient offenses and, more importantly, to absolutely ferocious defense. Nyman looks at another 3. Inside to Tarbert. He's got the turnaround jumper. That's his spot on the court. 7-8 as the Bobcats cut it back to a 1-point lead.
There you see Brett Tarbert, as I mentioned earlier in the game, or early in the pregame. Brett Tarbert's a 63% shooter from the field.
Chad Knight had the fast break going, tried the bounce pass. Ben Blau comes up with the steal. We had turnovers at both ends. Hart lights it up. Number 43, that's TJ Hart. Pardon me, I had said he shot the three-pointer. It was Tony Brown who had attempted the three-pointer. That one brings a foul, as both teams are starting to pick up the tempo on offense. Ben Blau picks up his first foul of the ball game, and Blau does historically have a little bit of foul problems during the games.
Yeah, he reaches a lot and has a hard time with that.
Steal by Tony Brown, coast to coast for the easy layup. Our score is 10-7 with just under 3.5 minutes to play in the first period.
Dave, that's Skyview's 5th turnover already here in the first quarter. They're going to have to handle the ball a lot better if they're going to beat this Mountain Crest team.
Well, turnovers often make the difference in a ball game, and when you're playing a team as talented as Mountain Crest, you can't allow it to happen. Tarbert misses the shot, gets his rebound, and now they'll call number 43, TJ Hart, with the foul. Tarbert will go to the line to shoot 2. That's the first team foul for TJ, third team foul for Mountain Crest, and Tarbert at the line shoots 2. Let's tell you a little bit about Great Basin Graphics. With quality, design, experience, they make functional clothing as well. Great advice, great screen printing. It's Great Basin Graphics. And stop in and see Baldwin Optical, Cache Valley's family eyewear center for 19 years. They've got the largest selection of eyewear in Cache Valley. They've been doing business for 19 years. See them in the Cache Valley Mall soon. And we thank Great Basin Graphics and Baldwin Optical for their support of high school athletics here on Channel 12. He makes them both. We're now 9-10. That 1-point lead, largest lead of the ball game, has been 4. Inside, nice pass to Roberts. He made a great move against Tarbert, and Vance Roberts shows his skill in the paint.
You got a guy that size, gets the ball inside there and has that inside position. He's going to score that 90% of the time, and a great pass by the guard line.
Nice backdoor bounce pass. Aaron Benson with the feed from Elliot Billings, and that's how you make the passing drill work. 11-12 our score. Three-pointer by Blau is good. Drains it. That's Mountain Crest's 4th three-pointer of the ball game, I believe. 15-11 our score. 2:30 to play in the first period. Chad Knight baseline puts it up. It won't go, but he will get the foul. Russ Guyman picks up his second of the ball game. And Chad Knight will get a trip to the line. That's just the guy that you want there.
Chad Knight's 51 of 61 for 84% on the year so far, Dave. And he was ice in his veins, and you can see coming around here on the baseline there, Guyman doesn't get his feet set, and a good call by the official. And Knight had the Iceman against the Grizzlies. He hit 6 of 6 in the second half and went 7 of 7 on the night. So
he's got a good form at the line. You know, Wolford Auto Body is simply the best in collision repair, auto body work, detailing, custom exhaust, and they do your computer wheel alignment as well. Stop in and see Alan and his great crew at Wolford Auto Body, a sports booster here on Channel 12 KBLY. Well, the 2 free throws make it a 2-point game again, Mike. 13-15, 3-pointer by Guyman, in and out. Oh, there'll be a big... As T.J. Hart, number 43, absolutely clotheslined Chad Knight. That one could have drawn a technical.
And an intentional foul, but I guess the official didn't see it. He just thought he was going for the ball. And it looked to me like he pulled him down intentionally, though.
Well, you know this is a big game. You know the players are fired up for it, and there's a lot of emotion out there on the court this evening. Inside to Tarbert against 2 men. Puts it up against the glass, and it's good. And we're tied for the first time in the ball game at 15 all with just under 2 minutes to play in the first period. Now they call that foul against number 55, Vance Roberts. The official thought he was pushing off inside. That is the 6th team foul for Mountain Crest. Vance Roberts' first foul. Paul Thatcher checks into the game, the 6-foot sophomore, the hero of the JV game a couple of weeks ago, I believe, at Logan when he sank a 3-pointer at the buzzer to give them the win. And the Mountain Crest faithful still remember and give him a round of applause.
And that was an amazing shot. He was falling out of bounds and from about 40 feet put it in.
Skyview with the chance to go ahead for the first time in the ball game. And look at that pressure defense by the Mustangs. Larson drives the baseline, puts it up, and it gets the good bounce. I thought Vance Roberts had the position on him, but he kind of gives it a little extra air. Turnover, good defense by Shane Larson. Chad Knight comes up with it, slows it down. Larson checks up for the 3 and misses. Aaron Benson fights for the rebound, and it goes off. They're going to say it went off Ben Blau. Skyview will maintain possession of the ball. 17-15 our score with 1:16 to play in the first period. Benson for the 3, no good. Billings gets those long arms out there and picks up the rebound. Inside to Tarbert, turn around, no good. That time Guyman with a nice rebound for the Mustangs. Quick down the court to Brown. Brown drives baseline. No good. Roberts with the big rebound. He'll try to put it back up, but he bounces the ball, and Chad Knight ties him up. Mike, you pointed this out the last time we saw Mountain Crest, that Vance Roberts is a wonderful player, very talented, but you felt that he had one weakness.
He brings the ball down off of a rebound. Instead of going straight back up, he puts the ball on the floor. Something that a center needs to learn. When you get the ball in the paint off of the board, a 6'7" center has to go straight back up hard to and take the ball into the bucket.
And that time you saw him put it down, and that gave Chad Knight the opportunity to tie him up. Tony Brown takes a bit of a breather, and coming into the ball game for the Mustangs, number 21, Nate Blotter, 5'11" senior. He'll be working against Benson. Billings inside. Layup won't fall. Rebound Blotter. The attempted shot was by number 11, Philip Foster for the Bobcats. He's into the ball game, the 5'10" junior. Who, look how soft Billings is playing against Blotter. Apparently they don't respect his three-point ability quite the way they do Brown's. The air ball by Thatcher. Rebound Mountain Crest. They lose it in traffic. Fast break opportunity for Shane Larson. It's no good, and Paul Thatcher, number 15, picks up the foul. His first foul of the ball game, and the 7th for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. That gives Skyview the advantage at the line. It's a 1-1. And you're going to see Greg Marshall come into the ball game. Marshall will come in to spell Brett Tarbert. Mandarin Gardens offers the finest in Mandarin Chinese cuisine. Great dining for lunch or dinner. Make sure you stop by and see them. I'll tell you, you will enjoy yourself. And Stokes Brothers is home of the easy credit connection with guaranteed lowest prices on the best in home theater and auto sound. Stop by Stokes Brothers and Mandarin Gardens. Two great sports boosters here on Channel 12.
And we appreciate all of them. I was going to say Greg Marshall's the third leading rebounder for the Skyview Bobcats behind Brett Tarbett and Elliott Billings, so another good rebounder in the game for the Bobcats.
Larson makes 1 of 2. Our score 18-15, largest lead of the game by Skyview. Three-pointer by Guyman, no good. And that's the end of the first quarter, and our score, Skyview 18, Mountain Crest 15. You're watching the Game of the Week on Channel 12, KBLY.
Introducing the world's smallest 6-disc CD changer and the world's coolest remote. Hey, a ride's a ride, but Sony Mobile ES is a trip.
Do your glasses slide down your nose? Do they pinch your ears? Do they need frequent adjustments? Then you need new Plexon frames from Marchon. They're light as a feather. Bend them, twist them, even wrap them around your finger, and they spring back to fit you perfectly. Try Plexon frames now.
See the exciting new Plexon frames at Baldwin Optical in the Cache Valley Mall.
Welcome back to the start of the second period. Along with Mike Plowman, I'm Dave Bennett. Our score 18-15. Skyview with a 3-point lead, their first lead of the ball game, and so far their largest to start the second period. Mike, what did we find statistically in the first period of play?
Mountain Crest shoots 5 of 14 from the field. Skyview shoots 6 of 13. As Nate Blotter puts the bucket in, Skyview goes 2 of 3 from 3-point, and Mountain Crest goes 3 of 7. But Skyview out-rebounds Mountain Crest 8-5 in the first quarter.
And what about turnovers?
Turnovers, Skyview has 5, Mountain Crest has 6.
And another one for Skyview. As they fight on the floor, they call the jump ball as Greg Marshall and also Ben Blau go for it. And I'll tell you, you could just hear the skin peeling out there on the hardwood.
Both teams hustling, want to win this ball game, and both teams have very good basketball players and are going to hustle a lot.
Philip Foster comes out of the ball game. He's replaced by Chad Knight, number 12, the senior who runs this Bobcat offense. Jumper no good. Marshall fights for the rebound and loses it to Blotter. Blotter will hustle it down the court for Mountain Crest. They're looking for Roberts inside. He's double teamed by Billings and Marshall. Mountain Crest going to be a little patient. Watch for them to press the wings. Blotter inside to Roberts. Another nice move by the big man, and he gets the bounce off the glass. And that's just awful hard when Greg Marshall is one-on-one on Vance Roberts to stop him from making that move.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough thing. Vance Roberts is a very good basketball player, and one-on-one, there's not many guys in this state that can stop him.
Mountain Crest takes the lead again, 19-18. The foul underneath goes against number 31. Tony Brown will pick up his first foul of the ball game, 8th team foul for Mountain Crest. Substitutions for Mountain Crest. Elliott Billings stays out, as well as number 21, Brady Nyman. Shane Larson is in, and Greg Marshall will take a bit of a breather as Tarbett comes back in. Larson at the line, shooting 1-1. Makes the first one.
And on the year, Dave, Larson's 21 of 29 for 72% from the foul line.
So another man the Bobcats would like to have there. 19 all, our score with 6:33 to play in the first half. And Larson gets them both. Skyview, 20-19. Here come the Mustangs. Blau looks at the three-pointer, puts it up and drains it. And I've lost track of how many three-pointers that is now for the Mustangs.
That's their 8th already on the game, so they're 4 of 8, 50%.
Tarbett wide open underneath, and now he gets the good bounce off the glass. 22 all. You know, Channel 12 loves Rocky's Pizza here in Smithfield. You know, they're not open on Sundays, but they are pleased to announce the Rocky's Super Bowl special on Saturday the 27th. What they'll do is they'll partially prepare the pizza for you, get it ready for the big game. Call Rocky's today for more information. Once you taste that Rocky's Pizza, you'll know why Channel 12 loves Rocky's Pizza.
And a foul called there on Chad Knight, overplaying a little bit, playing tough defense, gets his hands up a little bit there and gets him on the arm, and the official calls the foul.
4th team foul for the Bobcats. Knight's first. Blotter looks at the 3, but they want inside to Roberts. Blau's going to check up for another 3, and he gets that one from the exact same spot.
Dave Blau is 3 of 3 tonight from three-point land.
Absolutely amazing, because when you think three-pointers on this team, you think 2 names, TJ and Tony, not Ben and who's the other one who popped one here just a minute ago? Russ Guyman.
That's right.
Roberts gets the defensive rebound. Skyview comes up short. They trail by 3, 25-22 with 5:24 to play. They go underneath to Blau. He maintains the ball. Guyman underneath to Roberts. Roberts keeps possession, won't go, gets his own rebound. He'll get a chance at a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. And as you can tell, Vance Roberts is fired up.
We point out another statistical factor here. You see a great rebound, offensive rebound there by Vance Roberts, goes back up and he's fouled. Let me point out another statistic here. Brett Tarbett, who I pointed out in the Logan game last week, got his first rebound in the 4th quarter, only has 2 rebounds so far tonight. And so Vance Roberts is doing a fine job on the boards.
And the ability to keep Tarbett from rebounding is what kept Logan in that game right to the very end, and that may be what spells victory for Mountain Crest tonight. Obviously, Skyview will try to find some way to get Tarbett back in the ballgame. Rebound by Larson as Roberts misses the free throw. 27-22 our score. Skyview underneath, and good hustle defense by Ben Blau to keep it away from Billings. They've sat Chad Knight down, put Philip Foster back into the ballgame with 2 team fouls. Obviously, Knight has to sit down. He's the last man you want to foul out.
Yeah, it's one of the men you want down the stretch and in the crunch for the Bobcats.
Greg Marshall comes in, and Billings sits down for the Bobcats. And a turnover with good defense by number 31, Tony Brown, against Shane Larson. He held him for 5 seconds without a dribble or a pass, and that's the turnover.
I'm not sure about that call, because I think a guy has to be up in your face in order to get that 5-second call. And he had dribbled forward once, and I think the official, had forgotten that. And I'm not sure that call was a very good call by the official.
Turnover by Skyview, another one they couldn't afford. Blotter puts it up, and he's good from three-point land. It seems that anyone in a Mountain Crest uniform can shoot a 3 tonight.
And that's exactly what we saw in the Logan game that we did against the Mountain Crest Logan game. Everybody was hot. Mountain Crest shot about 60% from the field, including 3-point in that ball game.
Foster looks at the 3. He won't take it. Does take the shot off balance. Rebound by Blau. And Blau so far making an impressive contribution. 3-pointer no good. Rebound by Tarbett. That's something that Coach Dustin would like to see. And they'll call that foul on number 31. That's Tony Brown picking up his 2nd of the ball game.
And that'll put Larson at the foul line shooting 1-1. A 72% free throw shooter.
Thatcher comes back in for Brown. He'll have to sit down with 2 fouls on him. Chad Knight comes back into the game much faster than I thought he would.
He reaches around, and the official's going to call that one every time.
22-30 as Mountain Crest, on the strength of 3-pointers, has built an 8-point lead, their largest of the ball game. And Larson gets the roll.
And Shane Larson's 4 of 5 tonight in the first half from the stripe.
Carousel Carpets offers you a wonderful selection and great prices at the corner of 10th North and Main, right next to Whitney Appliance. They hope you'll stop in soon and see what they have to offer. You'll be amazed at the floor coverings, the carpet, and the value. It's Carousel Carpet. Larson misses the back end. Mountain Crest, Ben Blau with the rebound. 23-30 our score. Inside to Roberts, immediately double teamed. And Guyman traveled. He looked at the 3, tried to make the juke, and turns it over. something so far that's been kind of rare for Mountain Crest, turnover.
Well, Mountain Crest has 7 on the night. Skyview has 6, and that was a good call by the official. He takes that extra shuffle step, tries to draw the guy in the air, and then drive to the bucket, and the official caught it.
Inside to Tarbett. He posts up against Roberts and makes the shot. It's 25-30 as Skyview tries to battle back. 3:30 to play in the first half.
I'll tell you one thing that's impressed me so far tonight today from Vance Roberts. As good a player as he is, he does not get himself into a trouble with fouls. He holds his ground and doesn't reach over and make a stupid foul.
And that shows his maturity and part of the reason why he's one of the highest ranked basketball players in the state. And they're looking for him underneath. They've got him. Turn around. He doesn't get it, but they do call the foul against Tarbett, surprisingly.
Personal foul is on number 23.
Pardon me, they call that on Shane Larson.
And they called it on the shot, so Vance Roberts will be at the line shooting too. You can see here, Larson reaches over there and slaps his arm, and that's a good call by the official, and Roberts will be at the line shooting too for the Mustangs.
16 fouls on the Bobcats, and I don't know if we got a shot of it, but as soon as the call was made, Marshall walked over to the referee and began to complain about elbows. I think, obviously, his feeling being that part of the reason Vance gets such good post-up is that he's using the elbows. But Vance, Vance is aggressive, but he just posts up really well.
Well, and that's one thing about being a good basketball player is you learn to play within the officials and get away with what you can get away with.
Roberts gets the back half, and it's now 31-25, 6-point lead for Mountain Crest. And that's what I'm saying. I think Marshall's point with the referee is going to fall on deaf ears because the referee is going to let a player like that post up like that.
And he's going to use his body. He's a good player, and he's going to use his body, and he's going to try to use some things with his body that the official's not going to see that the official would call if he saw it.
Nate Blotter picks up his first foul. Chad Knight will get a trip for 2 to the line. He was in the act of shooting. Greg Marshall will sit down, and Billings comes back into the lineup for the Bobcats. That will put Tarbett, Billings, Nyman, Knight, and Benson on the floor for the Bobcats. For Mountain Crest, it's Roberts, Thatcher, Blotter, Blau, and Guyman. Not the lineup we're used to seeing from Mountain Crest, yet they have the 5-point lead. Knight's perfect from the line tonight, 4-point lead.
And that's one thing about both of these teams. They're both deep. They have deep benches, guys that can play ball.
Skyview has moved to a zone defense. 3-pointer, no good. Roberts goes up for the rebound, but Tarbett beats him to it. Skyview with an opportunity to close the gap. Knight well defended by Guyman. Billings puts it down, drives against Blau, doesn't get the roll. Blau gets the rebound. 2:30 to play in the first half. 27-31. Skyview trails by 4. Roberts puts it down, bounces off his foot, and Mike, as you pointed, that is perhaps his one, or perhaps his only weakness.
Well, that's a spot where he needs to get the ball and get it in a little bit better position to get the ball off the board and in the bucket, and he was just trying to get better position. It was great defense by the Bobcats down on the post.
Benson looks at the 3-pointer, off, passes off, doesn't get the shot, and again, Skyview getting very few offensive rebounds tonight. When you're only getting one look at the basket, that's going to cause you some problems.
And that's something Mountain Crest is going to pride themselves on tonight, and that's keeping Skyview off the boards, because Skyview is one of the leading rebounding teams probably in the state. I know they are in the region and possibly in the state.
Roberts tries the dangerous cross-court pass, and Billings got his hand up in time to knock it out of bounds. 1:51 to play in the first half. It is 27-31, favor of Mountain Crest. They take the 3. It was tipped as it was shot. Skyview gets the rebound. Number 21, Brady Nyman, pulling it down. Benson drives, puts it up, and doesn't get it to fall. The foul's going to be called against Thatcher, number 15.
Personal foul is
That's Thatcher's second. 10-11 team fouls in this first half for Mountain Crest.
And that's that tenacious defense. They're playing real aggressive, trying to keep Skyview's. They're trying to force Skyview into their hands, trying to force passes, not let them get into that that very disciplined offense we've talked about. And so far in this first half, they've done a very good job.
You know, Papa G's offers you great food and family dining at affordable prices. It's a place you can afford to take the whole family. The service is fast if you're looking for a quick business lunch, too. Wonderful atmosphere, great food. Papa G's on Main Street across from the Tabernacle. They're open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Enjoy your next lunch or dinner at Papa G's. Only one free throw for the Bobcats. 28-31, a three-point lead. Benson gets a hand up on the pass, but Thatcher recovers. Blotter working the wings. Out to Thatcher, over to Guyman. They've got 3 men in Vance Roberts' area, so Skyview obviously has shown where they think the strength of this offense for Mountain Crest is.
And as I said in the Logan game, Dave, that cross-court pass is something that makes a coach's heart go into his throat. You know, those are tough passes to make, and you should very rarely make them.
Blau into Roberts. He turns around and gets the basket. 28-33 our score with 30 seconds to play in the first half.
And I think Roberts got away with an offensive foul down there on that possession. He turned and put his shoulder into Tarbett.
Chad Knight loses the ball in traffic. Roberts comes up with the steal. Mountain Crest will get one last opportunity at it. 10 seconds. Underneath to Blau. Blau won't go. He gets called with the charge. That's Blau's second foul and puts Skyview at the line with 10 team fouls. Not what you wanted to do with just 8 seconds left.
Well, that's a player control foul. On the player control foul, they don't shoot the free throws. So Skyview get the ball underneath the bucket and have to go the distance to get the bucket here to end the half.
Thanks for keeping us on track, Mike. We wouldn't be the same without you. 8 seconds, 7. Foster takes it all the way, and it won't fall. And time expires. He heaves it up, and it bounces off the wall. The end of the first half of play finds us 33 for Mountain Crest, 28 for Skyview. You're watching the Game of the Week on Channel 12 KVLY.
In the northern capital region of China, the finest chefs were recruited to cook dishes for imperial banquets. You can enjoy the delicate flavor of Mandarin-style cooking in Logan at Mandarin Garden. We're known for our tiny, spicy chicken, but you may want to try something new, like seafood bean curd pot, Peking duck, or sizzling rice with chicken. And don't forget our lunch specials, starting at just $4.25. Mandarin Garden, exquisite Oriental cuisine, 432 North Main, next to Albertsons.
The complexities of automobiles and the cost of repairs on today's market, it's very, very important that a consumer know that a repair facility is certified. Certification in transmissions or any auto repair industry assures you that the mechanic giving you the information is trained, qualified, and competent to make those decisions.
Welcome back to halftime at the Game of the Week for Channel 12 KVLY. I'm Dave Bennett, and while Mike Plowman prepares those great statistics of his for us, our halftime score, 33 for Mountain Crest, 28 for Skyview, as the Skyview Vistons are performing on the floor. And we have a Skyview celebrity here with us. Lee Vaughn of Lee's Market has joined us here, and we want to highlight Lee's Market because they're taking part in the 5-a-day program. That 5 servings of fruits or vegetables for a healthier lifestyle. You're going to prevent heart disease, prevent cancer. And Lee, I think many people have the question of what exactly constitutes a serving of a fresh fruit or vegetable.
Well, actually, 1 cup of 100% fruit juice, 1 cup of a diced vegetable, half a cup of a cooked vegetable, a 1/4 cup of a dried fruit, like a raisin or something like that, or 1 serving is actually an apple, or sometimes even a small fruit like a plum. You need 2. But that's about it. That's what constitutes.
Okay, so as we can see from your description, it's really quite easy for most of us to get that 5 servings a day. I think initially some folks say 5 servings, and they're thinking they have to eat a whole bunch, but as you pointed out, it's really not that bad.
Right. Most of Utah only eats about 1.5 servings a day. Okay. And the national average is about 2.5. We're even below the national average.
So we really need to improve a great deal.
Great deal.
How do I fit 5 servings of fruits or vegetables into my daily regimen? We need to increase that much. Give us some hints.
You're right. Everybody's shocked when they think of that number, but it's really easy. Just a glass of juice in the morning, a piece of fruit in the morning, maybe a piece of fruit for lunch, and then a steamed vegetable and a salad at dinner, which is really easy to do. That's 5, just like that.
Now, how does Lee's help us as we go to shop for our fruits and vegetables, and we're interested in the 5-a-day program? I know you're doing some things at Lee's to help us.
Well, we have lots of point-of-purchase material. All of our employees are knowledgeable to the 5-a-day program, and we basically make it easy for you to purchase 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day for your family.
Lee Vaughn of Lee's Market here in Smithfield. We appreciate you joining us to explain to us the 5-a-day program. Channel 12 is proud to be a major sponsor of the 5-a-day program, along with the Bear River Health Department and Lee's Market in Smithfield. Let's let you go to the floor now to enjoy the halftime entertainment with the Vistons and the song and cheerleaders, and be looking for those 5-a-day balls that they're going to throw out right here at the end of halftime. Lee, thanks for joining us. And we hope that you will institute that 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. A wonderful halftime performance by the Skyview Vistons and the song and cheerleaders. And don't forget to be looking for those 5-a-day balls here at halftime. The halftime ball toss is sponsored by the Cache Valley 5-a-day Association and the Bear River Health Department, who would like to remind you to snack your way to better health by eating 5 or more servings of fruits and vegetables every day. The cheerleaders are going to be throwing out some 5-a-day balls right here. They've got the 5-a-day logo on them, and compliments to Lee's Market. I believe these balls also have a sticker on them for some free goodies at Lee's Market. And Lee Vaughn here behind me nodding his head and saying, that's right. So that's what you see is the 5-a-day balls. And we'll let you enjoy the ball toss a bit. Our halftime score, 33 for Mountain Crest, 28 for Skyview. And Mountain Crest is playing very, very well. Skyview maybe a little colder out of the blocks. Mike, your impressions?
Yeah, you got that right, Dave. Skyview in the first quarter shoots 46% from the field. Second quarter, they shoot 20% from the field. So a total of, the first half, a total of 35% from the field. They shoot 8 of 23 for 35%. 66% from beyond the arc, 2 of 3. And Mountain Crest in the first quarter shoots 5 of 14 for 36%. Here's the key. In the second quarter, Mountain Crest goes 7 of 12 for 58%. So they are a total of 12 of 26, 46% from the field. And the exact same total, 46% from beyond the arc. 6 of 13 from three-point land. The big key that's keeping Skyview in this ball game, only down 5, is free throws. Free throws in the first half, Mountain Crest is 3 of 5, 60%. Skyview is 85% from the charity stripe, 11 of 13 from the charity stripe in the first half. Turnovers, Skyview's got 7, Mountain Crest has 9, and Mountain Crest has out-rebounded Skyview by 1, 13-12.
And right there, statistics show what's going right and what's going wrong for both of these teams. And again, we've got a great game. It's only a 5-point ball game. Biggest lead of the game has been 10. Skyview has fought back to make it 28-33 at halftime. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more of halftime here at Channel 12 KBLY.
I'm a claims adjuster, and I chose US West Cellular because they've got Mobile Link. It covers you in cities across North America. I've seen people's lives changed by fires, floods, tornadoes, and I've got to be sure that my cellular phone works right wherever I go, and with Mobile Link I am. I get 24-hour customer service, calls are easy to make, easy to receive. It helps me put people's lives back together again, and to check and see if everything's okay back home.
Parents. I tried to tell them to get the furnace inspected, but they wouldn't listen. Now it's broken, and I'm freezing my diapers off.
No matter what kind of furnace you have, don't wait for a cold front. Call Carrier. We're the inside guys.
Attention Cache Valley, there's a long winter ahead. You know what that means. You need to see the experts at JM Mechanical Heating and Air Conditioning on Highway 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
Welcome back to halftime at the Game of the Week, Channel 12 KBLY. I'm Dave Bennett. We're giving Mike just a minute more on the great stats that he does, and we've been joined by Rachel from Rocky's Pizza. We've told you Channel 12 loves Rocky's Pizza, and so we invited one of the great Rocky's crew to come and tell us why it's so good. Rachel, what makes Rocky's Rocky's?
Rocky's puts quality into everything they make.
Let's put that right there for you. There we go.
Great. Rocky's puts quality into everything they make. They take time on their hamburgers, their sandwiches, their pizza. Everything is made by order, and everything is how you want it, when you want it. That's why it makes it so great.
So it's always fresh, and it's always prepared just for me.
Everything is ready.
Now, for those great pizzas that we enjoy, there's a very unique thing that goes on at Rocky's. You use a cheese that no one else uses.
We do. The cheese is very unique there. It tastes a lot better than the other cheese you get. You can go to Domino's or Pizza Hut or Pudding Express and get the same kind of pizza, but the cheese is totally different. It's 100% mozzarella, and it's all natural. We don't put any other chemicals in it. It's all natural, and it's 100% cheese, and it's the best.
Now, you know why it tastes so good. And last but not least, Rocky's is known for its atmosphere as well.
The atmosphere is great there. You can go there lunch or dinner, and everything's ready for you. It's a great atmosphere, and you always feel welcome at Rocky's.
All right. We hope you'll take an opportunity the next time you're up here in Smithfield to stop by Rocky's. They're right on Main Street. Easy to find. And Rachel, we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll tell you about the Rocky's Super Bowl special that's going on as well. But first, we're going to take these messages on Channel 12 KBLY.
When people come into our store, they look for Super Bob. They can't believe the big selection that we have. We're committed to have low prices. We buy in volume. We have, well, for an example, we have sofa and love seats starting at $4.99 for the set. Chest of drawers for $49.95, all assembled, all finished, ready to take home. We're low pressure here, so when you come in, sometimes we make a joke or two, and we want you to be at ease. We like to feel at ease and not high pressure anyone.
Welcome back to the Game of the Week, Channel 12 KBLY, along with Mike Plowman. I'm Dave Bennett. We appreciate all of our special guests at halftime. And Mike, you've given us great insight statistically. I know you have more for us, as well as give us your insight into what coaches' adjustments you think will take place.
You know, I really think, Dave, that as a Mountain Crest Mustang, you got to be very well pleased with your performance the first half. You come out a little slow out of the blocks. You shoot 36% in the first quarter, but in the second quarter you pick that up and shoot 58% for a total of 46%. Coach John Nielsen will tell his troops here at halftime, just keep up the offense that you're running, keep the offense going, stay in the face of those guards on the guard line for Skyview, and deny Brett Tarbert the ball down low. For the Bobcats, Coach Kevin Dustin, you know, you got to come out and say you guys played fortunate to be within 5 points. You know, you shoot 20% in the second quarter. They bury 6 3-pointers in the second quarter, and we're only down 5. We play run our patient offense and play a little bit better defense in the second half. We'll come out victors here.
Mike, as you say, a great point. You shoot that many 3-pointers and trail by less than that, and you have to be pleased with many of the things that you're doing. Mountain Crest starts out the second half just as they started out the first. Go inside to Vance Roberts, great post-up man, and he gets the basket. And there's Tarbert on the backside, and he shows that he can play in the middle as well. With 7:37 to play in the third period, it's 35-30, favor of Mountain Crest.
And that's one thing, Dave, I think the Skyview coaching staff probably harped on in the locker room at halftime and really want their guards to do is go into Brett Tarbert a lot here in the second half.
Inside to Roberts, and against the double team by Benson and Tarbert, he gets the turnaround hook shot, 37-30. Greg Marshall getting ready to come into the game. Benson takes the three. It won't fall. Rebound, Knutson. They tried to go inside to Roberts. It comes off the glass. He gets the bounce, puts in the points, and the foul's against Jason Wilcock, number 50. His second of the ball game. First team foul this half for Skyview. 3-point attempt coming up by Roberts. With the timeout on the floor, we're going to take an opportunity to tell you that February is a real sweetheart on Q92. Cache Valley's first choice in radio. Valentine's 96 is returning with 2 grand prizes with over a dozen Sweetheart Prize winners. Listen to Q92 for sponsored locations where you can register to win. And the Q92 Multimedia Bridal Fair is coming up February 24th in Hilltop Manor in Hiram. Now, the bridal fair will feature fashion shows and clinics and product discounts, door prizes, even 2 auctions of valuable items as well. Listen to Q92 for the details. Q92, Cache Valley's first choice.
The leading scorers in the first half, Dave, were Vance Roberts had 11 for Mountain Crest, and Brett Tarbett had 12 for the Bobcats. So as we suspected, the 2 postmen, 2 of the best in the state, were the leading scorers at the half.
Well, Skyview obviously has to figure out some way to stop Vance Roberts inside. Now, they've tried man-to-man. They've tried double teaming, and neither has seemed to be overly effective. Are there other options?
Well, I think the number one thing is you got to deny Vance Roberts the ball, because once he gets the ball down there in the low post, he's a tough one to stop.
Mountain Crest back to a 10-point lead, 30-40, their largest lead of the ball game. And there you're going to have a foul called against number 43. 43, that's T.J. Hart, picks up his 3rd foul of the ball game.
And that's a good call by the official. He tries to go right through the screen, and that is a foul. You can't push a man over going through the screen. You have to go around it.
Skyview inbounds underneath, all the way out on top to Shane Larson. Shane does a good job just pulling that ball in. They're trying to get Tarbett inside. Look at that great defense, and TJ picks up another one. TJ Hart's 4th foul of the ball game, and his 3rd and 4th come within seconds of each other.
And a little bit of a golden globe there for Shane Larson. There wasn't much of a foul, but he made it look a little worse than it was, I think.
30-40 our score, 6:39 to play in the 3rd period. 2 team fouls for Mountain Crest this half, 1 for Skyview. Inbounds underneath to Marshall. That's when you put the ball down. Greg Marshall does a good job faking out Knudsen to make it 32-40.
And a great move inside by Marshall.
Tony Brown puts it up, and it's good. He launches it from way out there with an 11-point lead now for the Mustangs. Larson puts it up. Skyview with the basket. One of the things in the second period, Mike, we saw was Skyview get the shot, but it just would not fall, and then they're not getting any offensive rebounds.
That's right. And another thing Skyview has to do here in the second half is I think Shane Larson's got to drive, and when he gets double teamed, dish the ball to either Tarbett or someone out on the wing, because he's a great dribble driver.
Blotter takes the 3. No good. Rebound Shane Larson. Larson passes up the chance for the fast break. Skyview goes into that pressure, or the perimeter offense. Mountain Crest with great pressure defensively. Larson makes a beautiful baseline drive, beats Tony Brown, and makes it 36-43. It's 7 points for the Mustangs in their lead.
And that's one thing exactly I just said, Dave, is you got Shane Larson, the veteran senior down there, and a lot of the times you've got the sophomore Tony Brown on him. Nothing against Tony Brown, but Shane Larson's quicker, and he's a senior, and he needs to take the ball and drive to the bucket.
When he gets that man-to-man coverage, I think you'll see him do just that. The foul against Brett Tarbett right there.
And you can see Tarbett's not set there, and he slides underneath Roberts as he goes in the air, and Roberts is starting to take this ball game over here in the 3rd quarter.
Roberts is playing with a huge amount of emotion. Makes the free throw.
That makes Vance 2 of 2 from the line and 4 of 4 from the field in the 3rd quarter.
And gives Mountain Crest a 10-point lead, 46-36, with 6 minutes to play in the 3rd period. A great game of the week here for you between the Skyview Bobcats and the Mountain Crest Mustangs. They're at Skyview. Inside to Tarbett. He's double teamed. Turns around and takes it anyway and gets the bounce.
Skyview shooting the ball a lot better here in the 3rd quarter than they did in the 2nd, and that's going to keep them in the ball game.
They've still got some ways to go. 38-46 the score. Inside to Blau, back out for the 3-pointer to Brown, and he just does not miss those. Tony Brown leads the state in 3-pointers. He's 4th in the state in scoring, and you see why.
Yeah, coming in tonight, he had 43 3-pointers in 13 ball games.
And guys, that doesn't just happen. That's some practice. Nice pass from Marshall to Tarbett inside for the easy basket. Skyview not saying die, but they've got 9 points that they trail, 49-40.
A lot can happen though in these last quarter and a half.
Not if it keeps going like that. Russ Guyman puts down the three-pointer, and he's fouled. He gets a chance to make 4. The foul is going to go against number 33, Brett Tarbett. Picks up his second foul. Both have been here in the second half. 3 team fouls for Skyview, 2 for Mountain Crest. Guyman with a chance for a 4-point play.
Well, and a really stupid foul by Tarbett. He reaches out there. He doesn't get his hand in it, and then he turns to block him out and knocks him down. And that's something you got to be careful of because the official will call that.
Guyman misses. And let's see, they call a jump between Blau and Marshall.
I think these officials are starting to lose control of this game, Dave. When I look back at that foul on Guyman, that should not be going to the free throw line. The ball had already been gone and through the bucket. The ball should be out of bounds. And that ball, number 33 from Mountain Crest, Ben Blau, was over the back, and they call a jump ball.
And there is a missed zig and zag communication there. Skyview turns the ball over. They trail by 12. Mountain Crest has really opened it up here on the strength of Vance Roberts and the three-point perimeter. Chad Knight had a clean steal. The referee calls him for the foul. I don't know if he was pushing off or what, but Chad Knight picks up his 3rd foul of the ball game and the 4th team foul for the Bobcats.
I think they got him there for the reach. He reaches across here, and yeah, that's all ball, but the official's going to call that most of the time when you're reaching like that.
Mountain Crest inbounds under the basket. Blotter double team, stolen by Shane Larson, and he wisely slows it down. He had 2 Mountain Crest players in front of him. Why waste the opportunity? Takes the 3, and it goes hard off the rim. Guyman comes up with the rebound. Still a 12-point ball game, favor of Mountain Crest, as Mountain Crest has dominated this 3rd period.
Yes, they have. Vance Roberts has stepped up and really played well, and Tony Brown started hitting his shots.
Blau defense well by Tarbett underneath.
Great defense by the Bobcats on this.
Brown eyes that 3. You never know when he'll put it up because he doesn't need much of a look. Stuffed underneath by Guyman. He gets it back, puts it back up, and he's over the top of Greg Marshall. Guyman, with great effort, 2nd and 3rd effort, makes it 54-40. Skyview struggling this 3rd period. They want to go inside to Tarbett. Vance Roberts is all over him. There they get it inside. That play has worked for them each time. What happens is they'll get 2 Mustangs up in the double team, and I don't know what move that Tarbett's using, but he gets behind them every time.
Yeah, he gets down there underneath that low post and a great pass inside.
All sorts of contact underneath there. All sorts of physical contact coming up. And Mountain Crest calls a timeout. We'll take it as well. You're watching the Game of the Week on Channel 12 KBLY.
Cut your utility bill in half. Reduce costly heating and cooling bills with revolutionary Mountain Fiber Supertherm insulation from Bruce Alsop Insulation. Mountain Fiber Supertherm is more earth-friendly, fire retardant, and fills in all of the cracks where the pink stuff just won't go. Your family will enjoy the comfort of a home that keeps them warmer during the winter and cooler during the summer. Insulation that pays for itself. A better idea from Bruce Alsop Insulation. Call today for a free estimate.
They showed up one afternoon trying to stare us down on prices. Didn't seem to bother my father, though. He gave him a fair deal. Then he did something I never would have done. He had me load another bushel of apples in their trunk. I learned later on that this family was in need.
Who you become depends on what you do for others along the way. A message from the Credit Union Foundation and your hometown credit union.
Welcome back to the Game of the Week, Channel 12 KPLY. Our score, 54 for the Mustangs, 42 for the Bobcats, 2:18 to play in the 3rd period. Mountain Crest inbounds after the timeout, and they're going to call the foul on Shane Larson. They're going to say that he pushed him out of bounds. That's Larson's 3rd foul, 5th team foul. for the Bobcats, and they are really struggling this third period.
And this game's very intense. Both teams are playing very tenacious defense, and you can see it.
The Mustangs camping on a 12-point lead. Roberts loses the ball in traffic. Jump ball comes up. It should be a Skyview ball.
Skyview got the last jump. It'll be Mountain Crest ball underneath. And Vance Roberts, that's what we keep telling. Vance Roberts needs to get that low post position so he doesn't have to put the ball on the floor. He's being double teamed tonight, and they're going to take that ball almost every time.
2 minutes to play in the third period. And a backcourt violation by Mountain Crest as Chad Knight wisely chases it down, makes sure that Guyman has to pick the ball up. So at just under 2 minutes to play, the Bobcats finally get the ball back after about a minute. Minute 10 goes off the clock. Marshall drives, passes back out. Blaughter almost loses it. Nice move in the paint by Larson. That was a pretty drive, 54-44.
And that's when I pointed out, Dave, is Shane Larson's got to take the ball and drive. He's great at that dribble drive, and he's got a sophomore on him most of the time.
Oh, now they call that foul on Brett Tarbett, and that was an offensive charge all the way. I have to speak out on that one.
Absolutely. He's been getting away with that all night. First of all, he travels on the play, then he lowers his shoulder into Tarbett. Tarbett holds his position, and the official calls that the wrong way.
Tarbett picks up his third foul of the ball game, and that's not something that you want if you're a Skyview fan, is for Tarbett to get into foul problems. 54-44, 10-point lead for Mountain Crest. Vance Roberts is at the line. Tarbett gets a chance to take a breather. So that puts Billings in the game. And Roberts perfect from the free throw line tonight. Great Basin Graphics gives you quality, design, experience, and function. Great advice, great screen printing, great Basin Graphics. And Baldwin Optical is Cache Valley's family eyewear center for 19 years. Stop in and see the Valley's largest selection of eyewear and get that friendly service there in the Cache Valley Mall. Both baskets good by Roberts. Three-pointer by Larson is good. So far in this third period of play, Mike, Shane Larson is the Bobcat playing with the most heart.
Well, Brett Tarbett was in there, but when you can't get any calls from the official, when you're playing great defense on a guy and the official calls it against you every time, it starts to get frustrating, and Tarbett's in foul trouble on the bench. It's going to be up to Chad Knight and Shane Larson to take over.
Nice drive by Russ Guyman, and he makes the short jumper to make it 58-47, an 11-point lead by the Mountain Crest Mustangs. And since the third period of play began, they've never led by less than 6. Marshall misses the easy basket underneath. Roberts pulls down the rebound. 30 seconds to play in the third period. Mountain Crest playing for the final shot. Double team underneath, and that foul against Chad Knight. Chad Knight picks up his 4th personal foul, and we've still got the 4th period to play.
And I'll tell you, Dave, these officials have got to they're letting a lot go at times, and then they call nitpicky fouls like that, where I'm not sure there was that much contact, if any. They've got to get control of this ball game, or they're going to lose control of it in the fourth quarter.
That will put Ben Blau, number 33, at the line, shooting 1 and 1, and he makes the first one. It's been all Mountain Crest this third period. Rocky's Pizza in Smithfield isn't open on Sundays, but they are pleased to announce the Rocky's Super Bowl special. Give them a call on Saturday the 27th. They'll partially prepare your pizza for you, cook it just enough that it'll last, give you the toppings. That way you can have that great Rocky's pizza to watch the big game. Call Rocky's Pizza. Beautiful shot by Shane Larson. 2-1, the shot's up, and it's no good. At the end of 3 periods of play, it's a 13-point lead. Mountain Crest 60, Skyview 49.
Great advice, great screen prints, great basin graphics.
Welcome back to the Game of the Week, Channel 12 KBLY. Our score to start the fourth and final period of play is 11 points, 60-49, favor of Mountain Crest. And the third period belonged all to the men in orange and blue. Larson again drives, doesn't get the roll that time. Vance Roberts comes up with the rebound.
I think one statistic that stands out to me in the third quarter, Dave, Skyview gets 1 rebound.
Shane Larson comes up with the turnover, makes the layup, and it's now 51-60. What was that, Mike? I'm sorry.
Skyview got 1 rebound the third quarter to Mountain Crest's 5.
And that will hurt you, especially when there's none of those being offensive. Mountain Crest turns the ball over, something that hasn't happened very often this second half for them. Philip Foster into the ball game because Chad Knight's on the bench with 4 fouls. So the beginning of the fourth period sees Foster, Nyman, Tarbett, Billings, and Larson in the ball game for the Bobcats. They try to go inside to Tarbett, and they had him triple covered. Billings tried the bounce pass. It didn't work. Mountain Crest has Brown, Blotter, Blau, Roberts, and Guyman on the floor. Mountain Crest has slowed down the tempo of their offense, trying for more penetration. A big block by Shane Larson, but it's to no avail as he knocks it right into the hands of Vance Roberts, and Roberts with the easy putback makes it 62-51. It's an 11-point ball game with 6:30 to play in the ball game. Tarbett turns around, puts it up, goes down, and comes back out. Rebound by Blau. Stokes Brothers is home of the Easy Credit Connection with the guaranteed lowest prices on the best in-home theater and auto sound. And Mandarin Gardens offers the finest in Mandarin Chinese cuisine. It's great dining for lunch or dinner. Make sure you stop by and see them. That time they call Roberts for the offensive foul. And Vance Roberts will pick up his second team foul of the ball game, number 55. I don't know if we have it on the replay.
That's a good call by the official. He's lowering that shoulder, going up, trying to clear out Tarbett, and that's a good call by the official.
You can do a lot of things in the low post to make room for yourself, but lowering the shoulder should not be one of them. 51-62 with 6 minutes in the ball game. Skyview in desperate need of some points if they're to get back into this. And a missed pick opportunity there that could have freed up Larson. Into Tarbett. They triple team him right away. Turns around and makes it.
Something that stands out in the third quarter, Dave, Mountain Crest shoots 75% from the field, Skyview 69.
Fouls on number 33, Brett Tarbett. He picks up his 4th foul of the ball game. That's the 8th team foul for Skyview. I'd like you to hear on the replay, Mike, as we get a chance to look at that.
You see Tarbett reaching in there, gets him on the arm, and that's a good call.
But you were telling us something about shooting percentages that I think we need to come back to.
Mountain Crest in the third quarter goes 9 of 12 for 75%. Skyview goes 9 of 13 for 69%.
Roberts again perfect from the line tonight. Papa G's offers you great food and family dining, and they do it at affordable prices. It's a place you can afford to take the whole family. The service is fast for those quick business lunches. They've got a wonderful atmosphere and great food. Papa G's on Main Street across from the Tabernacle. Open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Enjoy your next lunch or dinner at Papa G's. And we see turnovers going both ways. First, Roberts misses the free throw. Skyview gets the rebound, turns the ball over, and Mountain Crest gives it right back. 5 minutes to play. Skyview trails by 3. Larson's three-point, no good. Rebound Blau, and he traveled with it. Yep, and the referee picks it up. The referee picks it up. Ben Blau fell while he was holding on to the ball, and that's a travel.
Ben Blau has 6 defensive boards tonight. He's come ready to play in this ball game.
And he stepped up and made several three-pointers. I've been very impressed by Ben's play off the bench tonight.
He goes 3 of 3 in the first half. Hasn't shot one yet here in the second. And Coach Dustin brings his playmaker, Chad Knight, back into the ball game.
He's got 1 foul to give. Into Billings, who makes the move, doesn't get it. Roberts pulls down the rebound, and they're going to call an intentional foul against Ben Blau, as when Elliot Billings fell to the floor, Blau pushed him down and then laid on top of him. And Blau needs to get control of his temper, or he may pick up something else here as well. Let's see if I don't know if we have it on the replay because it was away from the camera, but let's see.
So that should have been an offensive foul there on Billings. These officials are missing an awful lot of calls tonight.
And that was probably the reason for the exchange on the backside. Now we see what Ben was upset about. Tarbert with the turnaround in the paint. He's been perfect so far tonight from that spot, and he is still. 63-55 our score with 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes to play in the ball game.
Skyview just needs to play some tenacious defense and stay in this ball game. Vance Roberts is getting away with a lot of shoving down there low.
Vance Roberts will pick up, they call that a foul on number 21. They call the foul against Brady Nyman. Elliot Billings and Vance Roberts were really going at it. Nyman picks up that foul against Roberts, and I don't know. Let's see if we can tell on the replay.
That's a good call there if they're calling that on Tarbert, but Nyman's just standing still. And these officials are missing an awful lot in this ball game.
55-63. Roberts has been perfect from the line tonight and continues to be so. Carousel Carpets offers you a wonderful selection and great prices at the corner of 10th North and Main. They're right next to Whitney Appliance. Stop in soon and see what they have to offer. You'll be amazed at the floor coverings and the carpet and the value. It's Carousel Carpet. Roberts, perfect from the line. Chad Knight drives and gets the basket, and he's going to have to step up and play big.
That's his first two-pointer of the game, Dave. He's 4 of 4 from the line, but that's the first time he's made a bucket.
And Coach Dustin is just screaming for attention underneath the basket.
See, they're missing fouls over there, too. Shane Larson's all over Tony Brown, and they don't call it.
Now that
is another one. If we've got that on the replay, you'll see Vance Roberts holding off Elliot Billings on that one.
Elliot Billings picks up his second team foul. That's 2 for Billings, 10th team foul for the Bobcats. We're trying to see if we have it for you to replay it. Billings comes out, and Jason Wilcock goes back in. And Billings is going to sit a few spots away from Coach Dustin for a moment. An emotional game here tonight.
You can't fault Elliot Billings for that. He's playing very hard against a guy that he's really outmanned by, probably by about 30 pounds.
Roberts still perfect from the line. He's had an exceptional game. Vance Roberts has played huge for the Mustangs this evening. Mountain Crest trails by 10 with only 4 minutes to play in the ball game. If they're going to come back, it starts with this possession. Larson again with a beautiful drive. He can do it every time. He can do it every time. 59-67. The foul goes against number 33. Ben Blau picks up his 4th foul.
And this is a free throw that a 72% free throw shooter in Shane Larson is crucial. This is a crucial free throw for Shane Larson.
It's a crucial free throw for the Skyview Bobcats' chances of getting back in this game. Our score is 60-67. It's a 7-point ball game. Pressure man-to-man all across the court by Skyview. Wilcock underneath against Roberts. He's playing him man-to-man. Mountain Crest.
You got a man in there big enough, poundage-wise, to handle Vance Roberts.
T.J. Hart, and they call that foul against Wilcock. He tried to come over to help and didn't get there in time. Wilcock, who so far has done a big physical job against Vance Roberts, picks up that foul.
And that's a good call by the official. He tries to get over there in position and gets underneath. He didn't have the position, and a good call, and T.J. Hart will try to finish this three-pointer off.
69-60, 3:17 to play in the ball game. You know, Wolford Auto Body is simply the best in collision repair, auto body work, detailing, custom exhaust, and computer wheel alignment. Stop by and say hi to Island. By the way, he wants me to pass along his appreciation to all of you who called to wish him well when we told you that he'd been injured here at Channel 12, and we appreciate you supporting Allen. Goes out of bounds on Brett Tarbett. Mountain Crest gets the ball. Actually, or pardon me, Skyview gets the ball. I called it. I looked at it right and called it wrong. My apologies. Wilcock comes up with the big steal. It goes to Tarbett. Tarbett loses it. Turnover, Mountain Crest. And Skyview has a lot of emotion, but right now it's kind of almost doing them more of a disservice than a service.
Yeah, and I think Skyview now, they've come back into their half-court man-to-man, and they probably really should have pressed them there.
60-69 the score with just under 3 minutes to play. Dish off to Roberts, and he gets the easy roll over Tarbett. It's an 11-point ball game. Skyview forced to hurry for the first time in several ball games, and Chad Knight got in trouble, tried to dish it out to Larson, and Larson makes the effort but not able to come up with it. And Skyview simply having to hurry too quickly. Timeout on the court. Our score 71-60. You're watching the game of the week on Channel 12.
Introducing the world's smallest 6-disc CD changer and the world's coolest remote. Hey, a ride's a ride, but Sony Mobile ES is a trip.
Do your glasses slide down your nose? Do they pinch your ears? Do they need frequent adjustments? Then you need new Plexon frames from Marchon. They're light as a feather. Bend them, twist them, even wrap them around your finger, and they spring back to fit you perfectly. Try Plexon frames now.
See the exciting new Plexon frames at Baldwin Optical in the Cache Valley Mall.
Along with Mike Plowman, I'm Dave Bennett. You're enjoying a hard-fought game of the week, but Mountain Crest with an almost insurmountable lead, 71-60 with 2:30 to play in the fourth period.
Skyview's still in this ball game. They just need to play some tenacious defense and run the patient offense.
Larson ties up Nyman, but the possession arrow is in favor of Mountain Crest. So they need to do it one more time if that's the plan of attack. Chad Knight gets a hand on it, but Hart comes up with it. And they try to go to Roberts and miss him. Coming up with the turnover, Tarbett. Shane Larson takes a three, big foul on this end against T.J. Hart, and T.J. Hart has fouled out of the game. That's his fifth foul.
And that's a bad foul by T.J. Hart. You want to get up there, get a hand in their face, but don't get so close where you give them 3 free throws. You get 3 here at the charity stripe now, and T.J. just trying to get a hand in his face there and makes too much contact, and Larson will be at the line shooting 3 now.
T.J. Hart has fouled out of the ball game after a good effort for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. He's had a very good evening.
T.J. finishes night with 5 points.
Not scoring as many points as we're used to seeing T.J. do, but his defensive effort has been exemplary. KLGN 1390 is the Cache Valley radio station offering exclusive programs to the Valley. Rush Limbaugh, of course, the headliner, the world's most listened to talk show host, is on KLGN from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Before that, it's the trading post, to the quarter to the hour. Your choice to buy, sell, trade, or give away items. And KLGN is also where Cache Valley listens to BYU and Skyview basketball. It's on KLGN 1390, Rocky Mountain Country. First shot good by Larson. He'll want all three. And he gets a good roll on the second one. It's now a 9-point ball game. 16 fouls for Mountain Crest, 10 for Skyview. Larson doesn't get the third one. Vance Roberts gets the big rebound. 2 minutes to play, and they tie him up. They called Chad Knight for the foul, and now he's gone. That's 5 team fouls on Chad Knight, and the Skyview faithful are letting their feelings known to the referee.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if they called that on Shane Larson, that was a poor call, but they got Knight there before Larson stole the ball. And I think that's a good call. He got him from the backside. And it's too bad for Skyview because Larson had the clean steal and the layup and would have brought him within 6 points, or within 7 points.
Within 7. So Chad Knight fouls out. What's his total look like for the evening, Mike?
Well, he goes 4 of 4 from the line and 1 of 2 from the field, so 6 points tonight for Chad Knight.
Again, a little bit below his total as well, but he did have to sit out a fair amount of time because he had 2 fouls in the first period.
And he was in foul trouble most of the game, and Guyman will be at the line shooting 1 and 1.
Now how does, the Guyman gets 2 because Skyview is over 10 team fouls. Misses the first one. Misses the second one. And Foster comes up with the rebound. The foul will be on Blau, and now he's gone. Ben Blau, we've had 3 foul calls and 3 players retired. First, it was T.J. Hart fouling out of the ball game for Mountain Crest. Then Chad Knight fouled out for Skyview. And now Ben Blau, number 33, fouls out for Mountain Crest.
And if you're Coach John Nelson from Mountain Crest, this is something you don't want to see. You do not want to see Skyview at the line getting points with no time going off the clock.
Ben Blau came in, Mike, and impressed both of us because we saw him play several levels above the game that we've normally seen from Ben. What did his totals look like for the evening?
Ben Blau goes 3 of 3 from the field, all 3 3-pointers, and 2 of 2 from the line. So he finishes the night with 11 points.
And he contributed on rebounds and played some great defense as well. 62-71 is our score with 2 minutes, 9 seconds to play in the ball game, and Tarbert is at the line. And he misses. Rebound, Vance Roberts. On a big defense by Tarbert, comes up with a steal, and a good hustle by Nate Blotter getting in there and knocking the ball away to stop the fast break opportunity. Heads up D by Blotter. Foster in the guard position with Chad Knight fouling out of the game. Larson trying for Tarbert. They get him inside. It's up and it's good. 64-71. It's a 7-point ball game. And they tie him up underneath. They'll call that foul on Elliot Billings, and he feels that he had all ball. Let's see if we had it on the replay. Elliot Billings picks up his 3rd foul.
Well, first of all, the call may be correct, but the official's out of place. When the ball is being played down there, you've got to be where the ball is as the full court official down here. You've got to be where the action is so you can see the foul before you call it.
Let's see if we can see it at all, right?
No, I think he had all ball, Dave.
He's got his arm underneath, and instead of coming over the top, 64-71, it puts Guyman on the line, and Guyman doing very well tonight for Mountain Crest. Gets the first of 2 opportunities. Foster goes out for Skyview, and they send in number 21, Brady Nyman. And Guyman gets them both to make it 73-64, back to 9. Shane Larson checks the clock. Inside to Tarbert. Tarbert loses the ball, but it went off Roberts. That's been a fun matchup to watch play tonight. Tarbett and Roberts, that's been when that inside game has been the best and the cleanest. Billings makes the move in the paint, draws the foul. I believe that's Knutson that picks it up, number 51.
And two very good postmen in Region 5 and in 4A in the state, and both have played very well tonight. And right now it's looking like Vance Roberts and the Mustangs are going to come out on top.
Well, Vance Roberts has certainly played a marvelous game, both inside, defensively, rebounding, and at the free throw line. So in the battle of the big men, Tarbett and Roberts, you would have to declare Roberts the winner. Billings makes the free throw. 1:30 to play, 65-73 our score.
Well, and with 1:30, there's still a chance here for the Bobcats to get a few turnovers and maybe win this ball game.
Oh, Shane Larson gave it his all. He almost came up with it. He knocked the rebound away from Knutson. Tried to dish the ball back in bounds and wasn't able to do it. 1:27 is all we've got left on the clock. Big pressure. Larson gets away with the foul. Guyman down court to Brown. Guyman is double teamed and gets out of there. Roberts passes up a shot. Minute to play. That foul goes against Shane Larson, number 23. That's his fourth team foul. So Mountain Crest successful in taking 20 seconds off the clock.
That's right, you see this here. Tony Brown's got the ball and Shane Larson goes for it, and a good call by the official there, reaching in and gets the foul, and Tony Brown will shoot two.
Tony Brown for a chance to seal the victory, and he does. This has been a well-fought ball game. Tony Brown perfect at the line. That trip, 75-65, back to a 10-point lead that Mountain Crest has maintained since the beginning of the third period. They've never led by less than 7. Larson will foul out on that call. Shane Larson picks up his 5th foul. The foul's against number 23. You'll see on the replay that they had the Mountain Crest player double teamed, and Larson, as the third man, was going for the steal.
And they called that intentional foul. I just don't. Where these officials are getting some of these calls tonight, he goes after the ball and gets an intentional foul called on him.
10-point lead for the Mustangs with 58 seconds to play in the ball game. Foster will check back in.
At the line, shooting for Mountain Crest will be number 21, Nate Blotter, shooting 2.
Blotter gets the first one.
And Larson fouls out tonight with 22 points, so a great effort by Shane Larson.
Blotter misses the second one. Rebound by Tarbett. Skyview has to hurry. They can't be finessed about it. And instead, Foster almost loses the ball. Roberts wraps him up. They get a jump. Skyview hangs on with the alternate possession. Roberts with some good defense against Tarbett. Oh, Tarbett puts up a running shot and it goes in. 67-76. Skyview trying for the ball, trying for a foul. They can't get the call. And then they call a turnover on Vance Roberts.
Great defense by the Bobcats and create a turnover there, and just still hustling, trying to get back in this ball game.
Billings launches a three. It's no good. Benson with the rebound. He puts it up and it goes down. Now 69-76. Timeout on the court. We'll take it as well. You're watching the Game of the Week on Channel 12 KBLY.
I'm a claims adjuster, and I chose US West Cellular because they've got Mobile Link. It covers you in cities across North America. I've seen people's lives change by fires, floods, tornadoes, and I've got to be sure that my cellular phone works right wherever I go, and with Mobile Link I am. I get 24-hour customer service, calls are easy to make, easy to receive. It helps me put people's lives back together again, and to check and see if everything's okay back home.
parents. I tried to tell them to get the furnace inspected, but they wouldn't listen. Now it's broken, and I'm freezing my diapers off.
No matter what kind of furnace you have, don't wait for a cold front. Call Carrier. We're the inside guys.
Attention Cache Valley, there's a long winter ahead. You know what that means. You need to see the experts at JM Mechanical Heating and Air Conditioning on Highway 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
Welcome back to the Game of the Week on Channel 12 KBLY. And really, Mike, all Mountain Crest has to do to seal this very important and well-won victory is inbounds the ball properly.
Well, Skyview's going to foul him quickly and put him at the foul line and hope they'll miss the shots.
Notice they've got Roberts up handling the ball because he's perfect from the free throw line. And Wilcock grabs the jersey of Knutson, pulls him out of bounds to get the foul call. We're down to 19 seconds.
Number 50, Wilcock, his fourth.
Wilcock's fourth foul. Elliot Billings comes back in for Wilcock.
And Knutson will be at the line for the first time tonight, Dave. If he could miss both of these and Skyview go down and hit a three, we still got, you know, a chance for this game to...
And he misses it. 69-76, 19 seconds. Mountain Crest with a great game, but you would have to credit the turning point as the third period when they completely dominated. Knutson gets one of the two. Foster comes down quickly. Can't finesse it. Billings puts it up. It's going to be short. Rebound Guyman. He's wrapped right up. They call a jump. Mountain Crest gets the ball.
And a great effort by the Skyview Bobcats, staying in this game till the very last seconds, trying to get back in it.
Yeah, the Bobcats are doing everything they can to get a foul call. Foster gets that one. Philip Foster picking up his first foul of the game. Let us take one more quick opportunity to tell you about 5 a day. Eat 5 servings of fruits or vegetables every day. And you heard from Lee Vaughn of Lee's Market how easy that is. And you can help prevent heart disease and cancer. 5 a day, brought to you by the Cache Valley 5 a Day Association and the Bear River Health Department. Whether you're headed out the door for work, school, or play, grab an apple, some raisins, 100% juice box, carrot sticks, even a snack pack of canned fruit. It's that easy. And remember to make every day 5 a day. Guyman gets the basket. It is 78-69 with 5 seconds. Here's the last shot of the game. Benson misses, and that's it. Your final score, 78-69, and the celebration begins for Mountain Crest, deservedly so. That's our final score, 78-69, favor of the Mountain Crest Mustangs as they've fought the Skyview Bobcats this evening. And we'll be back with our post game right after these messages on Channel 12 KBLY.
Cut your utility bill in half. Reduce costly heating and cooling bills with revolutionary Mountain Fiber Supertherm insulation from Bruce Alsop Insulation. Mountain Fiber Supertherm is more earth-friendly, fire retardant, and fills in all of the cracks where the pink stuff just won't go. Your family will enjoy the comfort of a home that keeps them warmer during the winter and cooler during the summer. Insulation that pays for itself. A better idea from Bruce Alsop Insulation. Call today for a free estimate.
They showed up one afternoon trying to stare us down on prices. Didn't seem to bother my father, though. He gave him a fair deal. Then he did something I never would have done. He had me load another bushel of apples in their trunk. I learned later on that this family was in need.
Who you become depends on what you do for others along the way. A message from the Credit Union Foundation and your hometown credit union.
Welcome back to the Game of the Week, Channel 12 KBLY, along with Mike Plowman. I'm Dave Bennett. Your final score, 78-69, as Mountain Crest wins the ball game. And I'll tell you, nobody wants to leave the gym. The Skyview faithful are just sitting there. The Mountain Crest faithful, even though they're on the winning end, are, I guess, just savoring the victory because they worked hard for this one. Mountain Crest domination came to the fore in the third period when they walked away with the ball game on the strength of Vance Roberts on the inside and the perimeter three-point shooting of Hart, Guyman, Blau, and several others. Mountain Crest with the big win, 78-69 over the Skyview Bobcats to take the #1 position in Region 5. They're now 5-1. Skyview falling to 4-2. And of course, Box Elder would then take second place in the region at 4-1 because we don't know the outcome of their game this evening. It was a very hard-fought game, a very physical game. One of the things that no doubt people will comment on after they see the coverage here on Channel 12, or if they were here at the game themselves, one of the things they will comment on is the quality of the referee. I don't think that anyone, whether they be a Mountain Crest fan or a Skyview fan, is going to walk away very happy with how that segment of the game might have gone. But we'll leave that up to you yourself to decide, and we'll not judge here from the broadcast booth. Mike working quickly on the statistics to give us a statistical wrap-up on the game, and we do have one more quick timeout for you, so why don't we take that and be back with Mike's wrap-up right after this on Channel 12.
I'm a claims adjuster, and I chose US West Cellular because they've got Mobile Link. It covers you in cities across North America. I've seen people's lives change by fires, floods, tornadoes, and I've got to be sure that my cellular phone works right wherever I go, and with Mobile Link I am. I get 24-hour customer service, calls are easy to make, easy to receive. It helps me put people's lives back together again, and to check and see if everything's okay back home.
Parents. I tried to tell them to get the furnace inspected, but they wouldn't listen. Now it's broken, and I'm freezing my diapers off.
No matter what kind of furnace you have, don't wait for a cold front. Call Carrier. We're the inside guys.
Attention Cache Valley, there's a long winter ahead. You know what that means. You need to see the experts at JM Mechanical Heating and Air Conditioning on Highway 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
Welcome back to the Game of the Week on Channel 12 KBOY. Again, your final score, 78 for the Mustangs, 69 for the Bobcats. And it was an exciting basketball game. Regardless of which team you support here in the Valley, you had to be pleased with just the competitive level and the emotion that the players, the fans, and the coaches brought to this game. One of the reasons Channel 12 so enjoys doing these great intra-valley rivalries is that very same type of emotion that you saw on the court this evening. Fouling out of the ball game were Chad Knight. This is for the Skyview Bobcats. Chad Knight leaves with 5 fouls. Shane Larson's with 5 fouls. Brett Tarbett had 4. Jason Wilcock 4. And Elliot Billings had 3. Brady Nyman and Philip Foster 1 apiece. On the Mountain Crest side, Paul Thatcher had 2. Nate Blotter had 1. Russ Guyman with 2, as well as Tony Brown. Ben Blau and T.J. Hart both fouled out of the game for the Mountain Crest Mustangs. Brandon Knutson had a foul, and Vance Roberts, who, if you were going to select a player of the game, Vance would probably be it. Vance Roberts had 2 fouls, and he had just an absolutely superior basketball game, anchoring the great Mountain Crest offense and shutting out the boards on Brett Tarbett as far as offensive and defensive rebounds. Oh, Mike, we'll put you on the spot here a little as you're just trying to adding the last few numbers there to break some things down for us statistically.
Okay, team statistics here for both teams. Skyview tonight shoots 25 of 54 final. They shoot 55% in the second half, and they go 4 of 11 from the three-point line, 2 of 8 in the second half, and they shoot 16 of 20 from the foul line. Skyview goes 12 of 6, or Mountain Crest, I'm sorry, goes 12 of 16 in the second half, so they go a total of 24 of 42, and 3 of 5 in the second half from three-point, 9 of 18 total on the game, so they're right at 50% from the three-point line, and they go 21 of 29 on the game from the foul line. The key statistic here, Dave, I think, is 18 turnovers for Mountain Crest, 12 for Skyview, and Mountain Crest still wins the ball game on 18 turnovers. But I think you have to credit that to the three-point shooting, 9 of 18, and their outside shooting, 24 of 42, which is about 63% from the field. Another key statistic, I think, is 21 free throws in the second half to Skyview's, or 21 free throws in the game to Skyview's 16. But in the second half, Mountain Crest shoots 18 of 24 from the foul line to Skyview's 5 of 7. I think that tells the statistic right there how this game was officiated. Neither team can be happy with that. You know, Mountain Crest the whole fourth quarter was in the bonus, and Skyview never got to it. So I think that tells you a little something. Vance Roberts tonight is a man among boys. 33 points, 11 rebounds.
An absolutely outstanding evening for Vance Roberts, and again, you would have to credit this well-played Mountain Crest victory to Vance. As you said it, he stepped up 33 points, absolutely impressive. One of the reasons why we know that he helps lead the state in scoring. Mike, if you're looking ahead to next week, some other games like that, what are you looking to build on if you're Mountain Crest, and what are you wanting to rebuild if you're Skyview?
I think if Mountain Crest is Coach John Nilsson, you got to go away very happy tonight. You know, you played one of the best teams in the state, possibly in 4A, and you turned the ball over 18 times and still win this game by 9 points. And you know, your big man scores 33 points. You shoot 63% from the field, 50% from downtown, and you know, 78, 79% from the foul line. So you play a very good basketball game, and you hold the Skyview Bobcats to 69 points and to well under 50% from the field. And that's something that not many teams in this state are going to do against Skyview.
What about Skyview?
Skyview, you know, you have to look at this as a learning experience. You lose the game, but you fought well in the second half. You shoot 69% in the third quarter, and in the fourth quarter you shoot well again, but just come out on the short end because Vance Roberts just takes this ball game over.
And if you're Shane Larson, you have to be pleased with your performance. Shane, the best player on the court this evening for Skyview in many ways.
Well, Shane Larson finishes the game with 22 points, and Brett Tarbett finishes the game with 28 points. So, you know, you had some ball players out there for both teams tonight who really fought tooth and nail all the way to the finish and wanted this game more than anything, and credit the coaching staffs as well. A very fine basketball game tonight.
It is, and again, we credit Shane Larson and also Brett Tarbett and Vance Roberts for their contributions this evening, and we appreciate you watching the Game of the Week on Channel 12 KBLY. We always enjoy bringing them to you. In fact, let's tell you a little bit about the folks that help to bring you high school athletics here on Channel 12, as we have an opportunity to tell you about the great sports sponsors here at Channel 12 KBLY. With Dave Bennett, I'm Mike Plowman, and we thank you for watching the Game of the Week on your community television station. Our game